Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to Car Question. We're still trying the Nissan Leaf and we're going to talk about the specification and the road handling and how I like to drive the car, and it's been an amazing week with that one. So let's talk about the engine. It's an EV car, so there's no gas engine. Big surprise, huh? So it's a permanent magnet synchronous AC engine, good for 147 horsepower at 3,083 RPM until 9,795 RPM. So it's 40% more powerful when you compare it to the previous engine of the Nissan Leaf. And by the way, the 9,000 RPM doesn't feel like it because it's not a gas engine, it's not a motorcycle. Let's talk about torque. 236 pound-feet of torque from 0 to 3,283. So it's an increase of 26% once again when you compare it to the previous version. It's always available. You step on it, boom, there you go. You're rolling from 80 to 120. Look at that. It's really fast. You're at a red light and there's a gas-powered car just on your side. Boom, you step on it and there you go, you're already gone because all that torque is available right now. And yes, when you accelerate, you and your passenger will get that head movement, will make contact with the headrest, and some people inside will say to you, wow, that's really strong, that's a fast car, and they're gonna be right. Let's talk about range. 242 kilometers of range that you can do according to the Nissan numbers. Some people have been able to do around 300. Sometimes it shows 250, 255 on my display, and we were really close to do that. We did a long road trip, and it was kind of amazing to see the range that this car can get, and we didn't want to hit any charge station, so that was the purpose of that road trip. And the numbers are realistic, but remember, here in Canada, we have the weather package, the battery warmer, when temperature is going to get colder, when you're going to need to use AC, when you will want those heated seats in the front, in the back, and when you're going to plug all your stuff inside the car, your electronic stuff, yes, battery life will go down pretty quickly. But one of the most thing that's going to influence your battery power, your energy reserve, is going to be how you drive. If you're driving like too fast, in a performance manner, well, the battery drain is going to be really fast. And if you drive while being careful with that eco mode, there you go. And if you try to plan your stop with the e-pedal and also try to plan the road that you're going to use, well, no problem with that. And if you want to check an equivalent on the Nissan website, it's 1.9 liter per 100 into town and 2.4 liter on the highway. Let's talk about the battery. It's a 40 kilowatt hour lithium ion battery pack. It's the same pack size as the previous version, but guess what? 67% more energy in it. They also use enhanced electrode materials with revised chemistry, and it's resulting in high power density while contributing to a greater battery durability upon charge and discharge. And yes, there has been some issue that a lot of Leaf owner reported to us that the battery life wasn't what it used to be. And by the way, there's a Nissan program right now that you can pay less if you have to replace your battery, because it's probably one of the most expensive part of an EV car over time. But Nissan guarantees that roughly 66% capacity over 100,000 miles over 96 months, while a recent study showed that the original 24 kilowatt hour pack lose about 20% of their capacity over 5 years. So the more range you're going to be able to do, but over time, if you lose 20%, that's going to be big. Right now, it's only 200, but if your car had 400, this is going to be a major difference, 20% over time. Still, I want to hear from you guys. Do you own a Nissan Leaf or any other vehicle? If you've got some battery life that is getting shorter and shorter over time, feel free to comment that in the section down there below. Also, tell us how much does it cost you if you replace that battery. Let's talk about charge time. Well, level 1, level 2 cable charger is standard. So in a regular outlet, in your wall outlet at 120, it's going to be between 26 and 36 hours. That's a long time. And if you plug in the 240, That's going to be regular in all the charge station that you're going to see on the road, at the pharmacy, at the restaurant. It's going to take 8 hours, so that's not too bad. And if you go with a quick charging, well, 40 minutes from 0 to 80% of your battery, and 40 minutes is not that long. But sometime if you want to go to 100%, because these charge stations here in Quebec City cost a lot of money. So you charge and you want to be full, and it's going to take more than 1 hour to get that full battery life, even with a quick charging. Let's talk about the road handling though. So you've got an EQ button that you can select, and it's going to change the reactivity of your accelerator pedal. It's going to also change the climate control, but it's going to give you a more efficient drive to preserve your battery life over time. You've got also an enhanced chassis for better stability. Heavy components, including the battery, are placed in the center of the body. So you've got that center of gravity, which is kind of great, you know, when you're going to take some corner, when you're going to brake, and you don't really feel the heavy weight of that car. You've got also an active ride control, the chassis control. It's going to give you a more precise electric motor torque generation when you're going to be cornering, reducing vibration, and it's going to simultaneously improve ride quality and steering control. Also, when you're going to take some holes, it's going to interact to give you a better and stable experience. Acceleration are really fast. They're strong. They're not the better in the class, but it's really impressive to see that little car go, because some people are looking at you at the red light. Oh, there you go, an EV car once again, and you step on it and boom, boom, they're in the dust. 80 to 120 is also fast. And one of the best features probably in this car is the famous e-pedal. In a quick resume, you can only use the accelerator pedal to drive, even for braking, and this is a major upgrade. But it needs times to get used to it. You know, you're gonna get in the car, you're gonna turn on that feature with the button, and you're gonna say to yourself, oh, I'm not really good at that. Oh, I'm kind of jerking some movement. Yes, probably. But as soon as you take the trick on how it really works, you're going to be impressed on how much energy you can put back in the battery with that one pedal drive. After 1 day, after 2 days, I was able to do from my home to my job without using any brake pedal. I know when there's going to be a Corolla that makes a mistake in front of me, or simply something popping out and I need to shorten my braking distances, well, I will need to use the regular brake. And talking about that regular brake, it's really mushy, it's really artificial, that feeling that you get. And by the way, I encourage you to try and test it before doing a panic stop, because I got myself surprised when we tried our famous braking test. So it kind of took a little bit longer because I kind of hesitated with the feeling of the pedal. Remember, the e-pedal will give you 0.2 G of braking force, and that's impressive. Suspension, not too bad. You've got a little bit of noise, though. Remember that they're using a regular torsion bar in the rear, but the car is kind of heavy, so it works better with that. Still comfortable, but you feel that the chassis is real firm. Otherwise, you've got great control, but remember, the tires are for fuel efficiency. Those Michelin are not bad at all, but they won't give you the best grip that you need really in performance maneuvers, if you like performance driving. But they will be able to give you great stopping distances, even as they're worn out over time. Go ahead and check the video that we did about worn tire. You're going to be surprised on how different some brand will perform also on wet surfaces. Direction is well adapted. Sometimes it takes a little bit larger to turn though, but you don't get those usual mushy, artificial feeling that you get in some other EV car. But Nissan has found a way to well adapt the feeling of its direction. Let's talk about general comfort. Well, it's amazing. The Leaf is probably one of the great EV vehicle out there that you can get great comfort, great equipment, but there's something lacking, you know. My elbow right there in the center console, well, it's kind of short. The telescopic adjustment of the steering is kind of missing, and I always play with the climate control in an EV car. You know, you put some AC on, it's getting kind of mid-cold, but you know, your seat is still warm. You get in the rear and it's still hot out there. Same thing also when it's gonna get really cold out there. I did not test that, but usually with EV cars, it's hard to compensate. So I kind of put always the temperature at 18, but it doesn't feel really cold like I like to have in regular car. And the seat, comfortable, but it tends to retain a lot of heat. But seat-based cushion right here is long enough for my legs. And I love Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, the display, and how quiet the car is gonna be, even if you hear a little bit the tires rolling. Otherwise, comfortable is really acceptable for this kind of car. It's above average when it comes to me. Let's talk about security, because Nissan put a lot of effort in the ProPILOT Assist system. And by the way, Nissan doesn't want us to say to you that it's autonomous, because it requires always your hand on the steering wheel. But when you're going to be in traffic, when you're going to be rolling on the highway, you just press on the Pilot Pro Assist button. It's going to take a few seconds before the car detects the line, and there you go. You're going to have steering assist. It's going to brake if there's a car up in front of you, and it's going to give you that kind of rest time that you need if you're doing a long road. And remember, when you enable that system and if you let your hands go off the steering wheel, this is just Captain Picard saying red alert in the Enterprise. You don't know what I mean? Well, look at that. Yep, the car, if it doesn't feel that you're behind the wheels, will slow down, will give you an audible warning, will make the red alert time, will give you a few breaks to wake you up, and if you doesn't react, it will slow down and it will put on the blinkers on to show everybody that there's something happening around you. And that's a great security feature that I like, because it's gonna come to a complete stop. So this is real security. By the way, if you're going to use the ProPILOT Assist system on a long trip, sometimes I feel it doesn't take really care, or it doesn't take consciousness of what's in front of him. You know, the hill, the topography of the terrain. The Prius Prime does that, you know, analyzing the terrain, giving you the best route possible for maximum range of pure electric power. And I think it's going to be more reactive, or want to plan more when you will have some hill ahead of you. When I activated the ProPILOT, I feel like it's having a mind of its own. So it's just flooring it, you know, getting up to speed in that hill. And even if there is a descent, after that, it doesn't really make maximum usage of the regeneration, which is going to be possible for that car. So I tend to do my road trip with the e-pedal, but you know, with one pedal driving, you're always trying to compensate. So you will find that you have new muscle in your feet. So try to find the better of both worlds. Enable the cruise control, but try to be reactive when you're going to see some hill ahead of you. So for the rest of the security feature, 360-degree view camera with good resolution, intelligent lane intervention, and boy, oh boy, the warning is kind of loud. The lane departure warning system, the automatic emergency braking, blind spot warning, and my favorite, the rear cross traffic alert. So the Nissan Leaf is really an interesting car with that new generation, a lot of new stuff inside. It really made me enjoy my week, even with an EV car. I really had fun with my road trip, but you know, it's just like your cell phone. When you're seeing 30% left of battery life, you want to plug it. So anyway, fun to drive, efficient, interesting car, affordable. So this is really good for the Nissan Leaf. But will it be enough to make it to the top or most favorite car EV, please, of 2018? So that's going to be in another video real soon. So guys, stay tuned. Subscribe to Car Question, do a thumbs up, comment section is down there below. Tell me anything you think. And also Facebook, write to me guys. You got all the details in the description. If you have any question, I'm here for that. And also, if you want to share some videos, I'm open to that. We're going to showcase them on Car Question. Anyway, take care. See you another time on another video of Car Question.